Wealth Within, they gave me that feeling of trust.
What you learned in the course was just mind-blowing.
Amazing. It was phenomenal.
It opens your mind up and makes you realise you don't know what you don't know.
I've got the tools now, 100% worth it.
Definitely get educated.
Hello and welcome to Wealth Within's weekly hot stock tips. I'm Filip Tortevsky, Senior Analyst at Wealth Within, and we are Australia's most trusted stock market educators. Every Tuesday night you can see me on the Australian Stock Market Show live on YouTube alongside amazing professional traders Janine Cox, Dale Gillham and Pedro Banales. Now in the show we answer important questions around the market, cover lots of great stocks and help you become a better trader. Today we'll unveil what's hot and what's not for you, our viewers. But before we dive into this week's stocks, I am joined today by Pedro Banales. How are you, mate?
Phil, good, mate.
Good morning. We've woken up to a bombshell last night.
Yeah, I hope everybody's got their seatbelts ready because it's going to be a wild ride this week.
Yeah, you happy to explain a little bit about what happened, because it's going to cause a lot of volatility on the markets this week.
It will, and it already has this morning. I believe the market's almost 2% down.
Yep.
So basically Trump has come out with 25% tariffs on Canada, on Mexico, 25% on them as well, and 10% for China.
Wow.
In retaliation, Canada has imposed their own tariffs, Mexico's working on their tariffs, and China is taking them to court, apparently, in the World Trade Organization.
Sure.
So I think that the market is going to digest all of that. There's going to be some volatility in the energy markets. So basically, get ready. And we've got reporting season.
Yes, we do. So a lot to digest there on our market. So let's get straight into it. On your screen right now is a watch list of the top 200 ASX stocks. Now you'll see, obviously, if we bring this in terms of the, let's start with the worst performers this week, right? We've gone with the best, flip the script. Zip up near the top now, down 23%. This is a company, a stock that, I mean, we've spoken about in previous shows. It has been a darling of the market, especially during the COVID era. But again, you often find companies that just run on speculation. If you go through the fundamentals of this company, I still believe it, from looking at it recently over the last couple of months, it's still not making any money. So, you often find the fundamentals at some point will match the technicals, and it's come off quite hard, potentially just a pullback, given that it has run so hard. But I mean, when there's nothing backing this with serious weighting, then be weary of what is happening. Magellan down 13%. That is quite interesting, but I mean, that is a stock flickering around low, so you've got to be careful around what is happening through there. And as we go through the list, obviously we've got a whole bunch of energy plays in there, as you said, Pedro, and that's probably going to increase this week. Some rare earths, Lynas, Whitehaven Coal going through there, but we've also got, South 32, another one through there, which is a materials player.
Yeah, a few miners there.
Yeah, so energy and miners dominating the list on the worst performers for the week. Now, if we flip the script, we've got Emerald Resources, which is, quite interesting, up there at the top. Karoon Energy, that one going up, which is quite nice. Bellevue Gold, a gold player in there. And as we go down the list, a few consumer discretionary players in there as well. Obviously, Aristocrat Leisure. What else do we have? Dexus, another interesting player. Some tech, Zero, NIB Holdings. So we've got a bit of a mixed board. Harvey Norman also coming through there down the bottom. Eagers Automotive. Quite a mixed board in terms of the upside on the market, giving it that broad depth, which is quite nice to see. And the numbers are quite nice too. We've got about 14, 15% going all the way down, the lowest being about 4%. So nice volatility on our market this week. And moving on, so what's hot in the market? Well, on your screen right now is my hot stock tip for the week, which is Charter Hall Group stock ticker code CHC. Now on your screen is the monthly chart here. And again, Pedro, I mean, in a sector, the REIT sector, which, right now with the overhanging way the property market is in Australia at the moment, since the rate rises, it's been struggling. You're seeing, volume builders being either falling away, leaving, going into liquidation, or being bought out. Most recently, we saw that with Simmons and Dennis Family Homes, another big player that has left the volume building space. So, builders are struggling. Yet these stocks are rising. And so, if we go back to the chart, it's basically a scenario right now of riding this momentum that is presenting, and knowing that you are playing in the speculation side of things, But I mean, looking at the chart, it is quite promising, and I'll just zoom it out to give you the big picture. And I mean, we've got this 3 rate of rise that we can clearly see. We've got this long-term momentum that the stock was trading on. It accelerated away recently, and now we're applying a 3rd rate of acceleration, which once you get to 3 to 4 levels, it starts to become, okay, really you need to hone in on your trading approach to eke out as much as possible. But hey, we're in a beautiful uptrend. In fact, the second leg on the way up has been the stronger leg compared to the first, as you can see in this rectangle box. Really strong buying. Sellers have had their effort, which has been, superseded in January by strong buying again. So we haven't been able to take out this really strong buying that happened in August 2024. We saw a very similar occurrence back through October 2020. That was the bar that showed the really strong buying. Sellers came in to test right near the buying, and then we got a real strong expansion. Very much like the cycle we're seeing right now. And if you look, both of these moves are coming off a previous 60-odd% strong correction. We saw it through here in 2023. And again, during COVID, it corrected around 65%. So long-term correction, coming out, strong buying, good selling, coming into where that strong buying is, that's being rejected straight away by the buyers. Increasing trend. I mean, from a technical perspective, this looks like a fantastic opportunity for the market to continue up.
Definitely.
The only thing I will say, as I said before, overhanging fundamentally doesn't make any sense. But anyway.
Oh, well, I like it. I really like what you've outlined there. And, looking at this weekly chart, you can see that the volume does spike on these up moves. Then it tends to taper off a little bit as the stock trades sideways a little bit. Then we've got volume coming up again here in September as it went up into this move, and now it's tapering off again. So now we've got volume coming back, just slowly incrementing up as the move is moving up. So it looks like it's ready to do something. And these are nice repeatable patterns here that we see that you've outlined, in this up move here. So this does look like it's in a bullish run. Now,
as it's going up, where would you think that, potential resistance or opportunity? Are you thinking maybe just to this high here on the weekly short-term play? Or
short-term.
The
short-term resistance there, definitely. But I'm thinking that if it does break above these levels, which it is, you can just put a bit of a trend line down there. It has broken above that little bit of a consolidation period. It's looking quite strong. It's definitely going up to well, not definite because there's nothing definite in the market, but it does look quite high probability that it's going up to test that $16.70 level. And the next resistance level, really, it is roughly around that $16.70, but the next one I think is the all-time high. So the risk to reward ratio is quite nice on this one. You've got around 30% upside, and you could put a bit of a stop just below that low there. So you've got the risk really here is if you take a trade, 10%, you could put a bit of a 10% stop loss on that.
Downside.
So, beautiful, yeah.
All right, great opportunity there, technically, especially for Charter Hall, but that is it for my hot stock tip. Now we're moving on to a stock that should make you proceed with caution. Sims Ltd, stock ticker code SGM. Now on your screen, obviously, is the chart of Sims, and this one, Pedro, let's start off on the monthly chart. Again, one not directly related to the, REITs like CHC, but in a similar type or gets affected by the property market. And, we're looking at this one right through here. I've marked initially the major levels of support and resistance in black. To me, these levels throughout the whole history of this stock, and it's been around for a while, show, where the stock is met with significant resistance or support, or where there have been important reversals. And obviously 550 was a major one, which the stock came back to in 2020. More recently, the $9.50 level, we saw a nice little test in July 2024. And currently we're sitting at this level where we've broken through if I zoom in, a trend line on the monthly chart, albeit, just the gradient of fall. So what I've marked here are a few things. Obviously the support and resistance, just so you can hover your eye over to have a look where the next speed hump is and how you can structure that, opportunity to see if it's worthwhile from a risk reward perspective. And then secondly, we've got these levels where the market's corrected. Now, again, just like the previous stock, we're coming off a 69% correction through April 2020, which signaled the end of the move down, followed by a nice run up. 54% more recently. So the last three falls we saw here, 54% was the end of the downward move, signaling the next strong move up. And currently we've done 57% down to July 2024. So anything over about 54, 55% over the last 3 occurrences has signaled the end of the down move.
Interesting.
Followed by a nice trend up. And I've also added to that, obviously, the downtrend lines that it's broken through, that we're seeing that repeatable pattern happening 3 times now. So, I mean, you know, again, proves the point when you're looking at these technicals, how patterns repeat so much. I mean, if you're not looking at a chart, really, you're playing blind. But anyway, and I've marked these 3 dots in green here to show that, hey, not only after the reversal, how does it reverse? What are the characteristics of this to show that it's ready to move up? And each single time, strong run up, a nice pullback, and then that third leg comes up. Strong run up, nice pullback, third leg goes through.
Oh,
look at the current example.
Look at that.
Strong run up, pullback, and now we're getting that same movement, breaking on up. So, I mean, you know, from a pattern point of view and price, momentum, this stock is presenting a really important, I guess, unfolding right now, and definitely worth watching. That's why it's my caution. But hey, it's coming up to this resistance through here. So you've got to be careful of that. You can see this level, $15, has held this stock up for a very long time. And just on the weekly chart,
Oh, right.
I will also argue the resistance is being put there. You've got a nice support through there. But hey, what's telling from the weekly chart is this strong down move through here. That's where the real strength happened. You saw a gap through here where the sellers really took off. Buyers attempted to take price back above that gap, and they haven't. So be wary of that, because buyers might only be able to take price to this level here in $16.98 before the sellers say, no, that's enough.
Come back in, yeah, because the ones that didn't sell out there could be ready to sell.
Yeah, it's proven in the past to be a very strong level.
Beautiful. Well, this one could actually almost be your hot stock tip if it was looking a little bit more bullish on the weekly there. So
yeah,
one definitely to watch.
Fantastic. All right. Well, lastly, what's not hot in the stock market this week? Well, Iluka Resources, stock ticker code ILU. So let's get into the charts right now. And Pedro, if you want to take this one away, mate.
Well, I think we quickly touched on this one last week, and actually I saw an article from Goldman Sachs that this was their pick for the year. This was the one.
Yeah.
So, and we highlighted the importance of listening to those commentaries, but then having a look at the chart and not just blindly getting in just because a broker or a managed fund comes out with a buy.
Yeah.
Because it's you know, clearly pointing down. It closed the month on the low, you know, right on the low. It means that price has been rejected. You know, from this $6 level where it kind of trailed sideways for a little bit, even this $7 level. And this is a very, you know, common pattern that we see when stocks get sold off. They have a little bit of a breather, and they could actually start to move up a little bit.
Yeah.
And some people could have been caught in this move, unfortunately. That's why we always say, always trade on confirmation, not speculation, because that same move is over here. So you could have thought, okay, it's coming up. It's tested this low. It hasn't traded below it. Now it is starting to move up, only for it to get sold off again.
What's interesting to me on that weekly chart as well, while you've got it up, I'll just zoom it out, is if you look at the down move, look how strong the selling is on September 2023. And sometimes what you'll find is with strong selling, when the volume increases dramatically, it could kind of signal sometimes the end of the move, you know, because it's like all the sellers rushing in at the end and there's no more sellers left.
Yes.
But from the instance on the chart, it's a very different scenario, because if we go back, it's basically sellers, you know, selling through here on really, really high volume, but then the market continues to be sold off, meaning that, hey, they're not finished. There's a lot more to go. And more recently, we've come up with this kind of volume again, selling, and it's continuing on with it. So there is nothing healthy about what is happening with this one. And
well, that could also be the big institutions, right? Selling, then having a breather, waiting for price to get back up, and then coming back to sell on a little bit of a higher price.
For sure. Oh, yeah. And I mean, look, let's take Goldman Sachs' recommendation and flip a bit of a positive light on this one, because at some point, I mean, this stock, when it runs, it provides amazing runs and, you know, provides some really good opportunity. Now it's in the cycle of contraction. And so, but it is coming up to this momentum line through here. So I would be watching this one at around $4.40, or even the hugely important $3.30 level. You can see we're looking at the whole history of this stock since it's begun. And look how many times this stock has found its way back to $3.30. All the way back from 2004, 2005, down in 2015, 2020. We're talking over a 20-year period. It finds a base at $3.20, $3.30, and we're not far off it now.
Yeah, right.
So whilst it's the not hot stock tip right now, this one, throw on your watch list, set your alerts, and keep an eye on it because you could be coming into a point where historically it provides really strong reversals.
I totally agree. It has some beautiful runs, a lot of volatility and liquidity as well there to profit off.
Absolutely. All right, well, thanks for watching this edition of Wealth Within's weekly hot stock tips. Now remember to tune into the live Australian Stock Market Show on YouTube from 7 p.m. Eastern Time every Tuesday night. To find us, just type Wealth Within Live in the YouTube search. And remember to have your phone ready to call in live to speak to us so we can answer your questions. The number is 03 9290 9988. Or you can email into the show right now by sending your questions to info@wealthwithin.com.au. Now, if you want a copy of Dale's first book, you can still get it for free. You just have to pay the shipping. You can order it from our homepage, wealthwithin.com.au. And I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. And thank you, Pedro, again, mate, for your comments today.
My pleasure, mate. Yeah, strap in again, right?
Yes.
Get ready for a big week. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Get ready for a big week. Watch out for the volatility across markets with the latest bombshell dropped by Mr. Trump. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. For now, goodbye, good luck, and good trading.